guys, I'm David with Dance On, and I'm bringing you your weekly recap of So You Think You Can Dance Season 9. This is the first week we get to see the top 20 compete, and I'm very excited to see them, so let's get going. I'm gonna start with my three favorite pieces, and then just go down from there. The first piece in my top three was the Sonya Tayeh Contemporary with Tiffany and George, and Tiffany totally surprised me. I mean, I didn't even cover her dance last episode in my recap, but she just came out of nowhere with her back and her core, her freaking abs, she is so strong, and I thought that George held his own as well, and I thought that Sonya's choreography was really good, especially for something that wasn't a weird, quirky Sonya Tayeh piece. It was just like a solid partnering contemporary, so I thought that was really great. The next piece in my top three was Matthew and Audrey's Travis Wall contemporary piece. I honestly thought that their chemistry was hot, and just seeing Matthew and Travis Wall in one room was like too much for me to handle. But this piece was really just created for everyone in America to want Matthew to sleep with them, because it presented him as like the best boyfriend or lover or whatever. I thought that they both did really, really well. All the jumps, especially the big jump, but even other little things, like Audrey, there was a point where she slammed him into the couch and she extended her arms, and she just, the full length, it was just like the full possible extension with her arms. She was very detailed and very sharp. The last in my top three, and my favorite of the entire night, was surprisingly Amelia and Will's hip-hop piece. You guys know that I wasn't a big fan of Amelia, but as of tonight, my opinion's completely changed. That's how fickle I am. It takes one good routine. I mean, like, she's quirky enough that you put her in a cat costume and you give her a hot jazz number and she's gonna sell it. Honestly, there were two big standout moments. There was one, the sort of cartwheel into the splits was hot, and then also the flip into the shoulder lift was also very impressive. But even the most finite movements, they just sold it with their facial expressions and their body. I did think it was funny that the piece was considered hip-hop when it was really more of a jazz Broadway routine. It was actually like a better Broadway routine than anything Tice has choreographed in the Broadway genre. It's weird because he's such a good choreographer when it comes to contemporary stuff, and then the second you give him Broadway, he completely overdoes it, and it's just a complete misrepresentation of Broadway as a whole. But yeah, Tice's choreography for Eliana and Cyrus was not great. Obviously Eliana sold it because that's what she does and she's a star, but choreography was... A piece that got very close to being in my top three was the African dance with Janelle and Darian. I honestly thought that she stole the show. In general, the girls stole the show in this top 20 performance, but she was wild and feral. I kept saying, she's feral at my TV. Just crazy, giving some serious face. The only thing that I would say to improve was that she had to lift her legs a little bit more near the end when she was getting tired, but other than that, she was selling it. And Darian had some standout moments when he did the handstand and other stuff. I thought it was sort of weird that all three ballroom dancers got ballroom as their genre. It's sort of suspicious. The first one with Kian and Whitney was good. I was watching Kian the entire time. I didn't even notice Whitney. I mean, I looked at her a few times and she looked like she was getting it, but I just couldn't keep my eyes off of Kian. He was giving face performance. His arms are beautiful. I do agree though that he needs to loosen up a little bit, but that'll come, and I mean, I'm sure he's safe. Lindsay and Cole's Paso Doble was, as the judges said, really, really great. Cole, I was focusing on Cole the whole time. I feel like I wasn't even focusing on the ballroom dancers for all of the ballroom numbers. Amber and Nick's waltz was awful. I honestly don't know why Nick is there, because it didn't feel like a waltz. It felt like they were bobbing up and down the entire time. He was throwing her around like a sack of potatoes. Amber, I think, did a better job, but I think the choreography was bad. Everything was bad. Honestly, Amber's dress was the best part of that performance. The two forgettable pieces of the night for me were the Janiyah and Brandon piece and the one that Alexa and Daniel did. I just think that the show is setting up Janiyah and Brandon to be in the bottom three. Their package was not very good, and the piece was just sort of bland. And the Sean Cheeseman piece for Alexa and Daniel was just, it didn't go anywhere, and the red costumes were really just distracting. I mean, they were climbing scaffolding at the end. Like, that's not interesting to watch. I thought that Daniel was good when I couldn't see his face. Like, there was a point where he did turns and then broke out into a little arm thing, and it was so technical. It was good because I couldn't see his face, and then I see that smiling freaking face, and I couldn't deal with that. My bottom three predictions for next week for the boys are Nick, Brandon, and Daniel, and my bottom three prediction for the girls are Janiyah, Amber, and Lindsay. I guess, I don't know, I had a hard time choosing the last one, so Lindsay I still think is good, but I needed a third girl. Let me know what your predictions are for the bottom three in the comments, and also if you have any favorites. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for So You Think You Can Dance. Woo! Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye!